Left side of your screen is the battle for 10th. Edwards and Stephen Wallace.
And they've been running side by side, lap after lap. Now Stephen gives away, tucks in behind him.
Brian Scott is in the 12th position, but he is the first car a lap down. He's in the lucky dog position. 29 laps to go.
We're watching Casey Kane's lap times now. He's starting to inch in on Kyle Busch. If this thing goes green, he might have something for Kyle.
Hey, talking about Kyle, I've been watching his lines around this racetrack, Andy. In both corners, he's running up about a lane higher up on that more banking. We got 26 degrees on the bottom, 30 up top, and that's where he's running.
Jason Leffler, and what's significant here in this battle for 8th with Brad Keselowski, right now, the way it shapes up, he'll come out of here with the points lead. He would have a 2-point lead over Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Let's get an update on that 30. How about it, Dave?
And Marty, the keeper Leffler was getting that lucky dog a few yellows ago. He had to race by 3 cars extremely hard after a restart to get into that position, including teammate Reed Sorensen. Had damage to one tire, but he radioed before they came in. They said, boys, that's why we race hard all the time.
Jason Leffler has never led the points in his Nationwide Series career. Today could change that. You know, we mentioned Ricky Stenhouse. He is 14th right now in 2 laps down. Of course, that penalty is what really set him back. He's never been able to recover from that.
No, I couldn't get back from that one. He's got to be so frustrated when this race is over because he's got fast lap times. He run up front throughout the whole day. But again, guys, it's Bristol. Things are going to happen. We know he can drive the car, and he's looking good. He's there now. He's just got to finish the deal and get his first win.
It doesn't look like it'll be today, however, as there's just 23 laps to go, and Kyle Busch just keeps clicking them off. We've had 4 different leaders, but Kyle has led 245 laps. Ricky led 28, but they were early in the race.
You know, you got to believe these Cup guys that are in the Nationwide race, they've got to learn something for tomorrow. They got to take that information and learn from this tire change and apply it to what they're going to do. They did get one practice session, the Cup guys did, but still, I think it's an advantage for them to be in this race to transfer over to tomorrow.
And this battle continues between Keselowski and Edwards. This is a battle for 9th. And they've been known in the past not to give each other too much quarter, but so far, so good.
So you got to give Keselowski's crew a lot of credit for getting this car back competitive again after that right front tire went down and he hit the wall and caused a lot of damage.
You mentioned earlier they've had problems with the right front corner on this 22 car all year long with blowing tires out, and they probably learned a lot from this particular race about be a little more conservative. And
well, it might be something to do with their philosophy and setup. You know, they had a crew chief change on this team, and Todd Gordon might just have a little different philosophy that may not work well with the driving style of Keselowski. You know, maybe Brad drives a little bit harder on that right front, and he may have to adjust.
They both went around the 15 of Timmy Hill. He is several laps down, 7 to be exact, in 29th position. Left side of your screen, you can still see it is Harvick leading Elliott Sadler. That is 4th.
Got a smoker there. Looks like Mike Wallace.
Yeah, Mike, the 01 car is smoking, and he is making his way towards pit road. We'll get in and out of the way before needing a caution. Whoa, Logano comes up on Sadler there.
If you look up front there, Casey Kane's now pulled that gap down to a 2nd.
Okay, did Harvick, realizing he isn't going to win this race, did he just sort of give way to the faster 2 car?
Well, that's not like Kevin Harvick to do something like that, but it is his teammate. He's not racing for the points. Elliott is. And these are equal cars. They come out of the same shop, same engine, same chassis, same bodies. So he's just being a kinder Kevin Harvick.
Well, and he is pulling away a little bit. It would put him 8th in the points right now. Getting back into the mix, he'd be 32 points out of 1st. Let's get an update. Pit road, Dave Burns.
And the only thing to consider here, guys, is that earlier we heard radio from Kevin about how they have not improved that race car all day long. That's not the case for Elliott Sadler. About halfway through the race, the change that they made to that car, he called a good change to the crew. It's one of the reasons why Elliott's so much better now. I don't think Kevin just let him by.
All right, thanks for the update, Dave. As we mentioned, Sadler has opened up some ground on him. Joey Logano now getting a little bit closer to that 33. Nothing has changed up front. Kyle Busch is 0.8 of a second in front of Casey Kane. And give you an idea of just how big 0.8 of a second is. There they are.
Well, it was 1.8 seconds about 10 laps ago, so he's able to close it down to less than a second. Kyle has had a lot of traffic to deal with, and Casey's had to deal with it too. So, you know, kind of interested to see if they've got, you know, if this tire strategy will pay off for Casey Kane. His car hadn't been right all day either, and he was kind of forced to make a lot of pit stops and tighten it up.
There'll be 10 laps this time by. And think about this. If Kyle goes on to win this race, it'll be 4 straight races going back to last year's sweep at Bristol.
Yeah, let's face it. I mean, this particular track is one of the most famous short tracks in the whole country, and Kyle Busch likes to win. And I can tell you one thing, he doesn't like to win any more else than he likes to win here. He loves to win this place because it's such a popular track, so prestigious when you win here.
Yeah, there's only one touring race last week. Casey Kane won that one in the Truck Series at Darlington.
And remember this also, no back-to-back Bristol winners in this series since Steve Grissom did it back in 1995.
Now, Kyle's got some heavy traffic to deal with these last few laps.
Kevin Harvick, as we mentioned, he's got his hands full with the 20, as you can see at Joey Logano. And Stenhouse is 14th, but he is 2 laps down in the mix.
Kevin Harvick and Joey Logano had a little dust up here last year on the last lap.
If you remember, Logano was running 5th. He got dumped by Harvick. He ended up 14th and was none too pleased about it. In fact, I asked him, I said, do you have a long memory on it? He goes, oh, no, that was a year ago. He says, we've had so many run-ins since.
These guys never forget nothing. I promise you that. It's in your memory bank.
You see, Kyle, you mentioned that lap traffic. There he is on the right side of your screen. Second car there, the 18.
Only got a few laps now. It's 5 to go. Casey Kane pushing really hard. Now, he won last week driving a truck for Kyle Busch. I don't think that's going to make him give him any courtesy here.
Yeah, he's been about 1/10 of a second faster than Kyle every single lap, so he's got time. And not much, though.
And we mentioned at the beginning of the race, it was Casey last year. He had a great run going in that 38 car, got swept up in somebody else's crash.
Laps are ticking away. 3 to go.
3 this time now, and Kyle Busch looking at 2 more lap cars in front of him. That's James Buescher in the 34, and that he is 13th, 2 laps down, and Michael Annett. Annett is 24th, 4 laps down. They both give way. 2 laps to go here at the world's fastest half mile. And that may be all he needed. That lap traffic. Look at that. He jumped out on Casey there. White flag is out.
Right here. Bring it home to us, folks.
Well, one more time around down the backstretch. It'll be the 45th time in his Nationwide Series career. And remember, Mark Martin had widened that gap 2 weeks ago? He just closes it. It's down to 4. Kyle Busch with Casey Kane second. Coming home in third, Dale Earnhardt Jr. In fourth, Elliott Sadler with his best run of the year. Joey Logano rounds out the top 5.
A great run out of Kyle Busch. And another thing you got to...
Sure, great car. You can do a burnout with this one. We're done with it.
They're talking about the engine. They resealed these engines so they run them more than one race.
Nice work. Nice work.
Vince is caught up with a very happy Jason Ratcliffe.
Well, Jason Ratcliffe and the Z-Line Designs Toyota making a path to victory lane. Everybody worried about the tires and how the changeover was going to affect the car. How did it affect yours?
Well, when we first put them on, it was off, you know. And as we got laps on the tires, it kind of evened out for us. But the guys did a great job on pit road. We took some big swings at it there on that one stop and put what we thought was going to be our best set of tires on it for the end. And we just kind of, you know, made our bed there and had to sleep in it or live in it or whatever you call it. And I can't thank Kyle Busch enough. The guy's just tremendous. The 38 had a good pit strategy. He was coming hard, but he got up on the wheel there at the end. You got to thank God for a great day. All these fans coming out here. What an awesome place to win. It's nerve-wracking, man. You're counting them down. I was just praying there wasn't a caution.
So many people talk about Kyle and his accomplishments. You've been alongside of him all the way. Today, 10,000 laps led in his Nationwide Series career. How would you put in perspective what it's like working with Kyle Busch week in, week out?
It's a blessing. It's just a blessing. That's how I put it in perspective.
Well said, Marty.
His 10th National Touring Series win here at Bristol. 3 now in the Nationwide Series, 4 in Cup, 3 in Trucks. And going back to last year's sweep, he's now won 4 straight races, could make it 5 again tomorrow. And yeah, that is worth another bow. For the 45th time in his career, he gets to do the victories burnout. The celebration is about to erupt for the 4th straight time here at Bristol Motor Speedway. As it is, Kyle Busch winning again. And there he is, Doc.
In a row at the High Bank Bristol Motor Speedway for Kyle Busch, reigning NASCAR Nationwide Series champion. And Kyle, another dominant performance here at Bristol. What is it about you in this place? I mean, you made it look easy, but I understand from listening to the radio when you put those right side tires on early on, the car was a bit of a handful.
It was. It changed the dynamic of the car quite a bit. And, you know, we had to compensate for that driving style-wise, and then on our next pit stop, getting some changes made to the car. But Jason and these guys did such a great job. We played a lot yesterday with different setups and what we wanted to do and how we wanted to do it and what exactly we were looking for. I know the feel I need, but it's just hard to try to get it sometimes. And we got it there yesterday and felt pretty good about it. And then they had the tire deal, and we were a little nervous about it, but it worked out today. So I can't thank Z-Line Designs and Jim and Monica enough. They're here with us today. So cool to have them on board and win for them when they're here with us. NOS Energy Drink, Toyota. This Camry was awesome today, and Nationwide Insurance, fun series to race in, and then Marquis Jets, Gillette, and of course the fans. You know, it's cool to come to Bristol and see this place, and of course, you know, there's a lot of people here today. Hopefully, there's a lot more tomorrow.
I know you may not be aware of this, and you're not really into records, but for the first time in the 29-year history of the Nationwide Series, a driver has now surpassed 10,000 laps led. Congratulations. What a record.
Well, I appreciate it. It's big, you know, and anytime you're able to break any kind of series record with the likes of you know, Sam Ard and all the guys that made this series what it is. You know, Kevin Harvick in his heyday when he was really good just a couple of years ago, you know, and then of course Mark Martin in his time and all the guys, Pearson and Houston and all those boys. So it's cool, and I enjoy it. There's still plenty more time, hopefully, to make some more. And, you know, y'all keep making a big deal that Mark got one away from me. Well, I caught back up one today. So there's still a few more to go before I get there, but I'm sure he's watching, and we're hunting him down.
All right, Kyle Busch picking up his 2nd win of the year, 10th overall at Bristol. And by the way, carrying the Red Cross Relief logo in honor and memory of so many who have suffered in Japan. Disaster relief efforts over there. Taking it to victory lane here, trying to remember what's going on and how difficult it is over in Japan. Marty?
Thanks, Doc. As the smiles of Kyle Busch, you can't wipe them away, as, boy, he has just become such a dominant force at this racetrack more than any other. 4 straight wins dating back to last fall's race, and who knows, they just might make it 5 again tomorrow.